Hi everyone and welcome back to So Sally-O. This is my Peter Rabbit cake topper tutorial. It's a realistic attempt. I didn't have very much time to do it and I was pushed doing it the night before Hugo's birthday. It's my quick version. I am by no means a professional cake decorator or baker. There are much better things out there if you wanted to watch them, but this is my real mom, realistic. Not much time to do it. Use what you can. Mistakes, improvise, do your best. And to show you guys, actually, you can make something that is okay in not very much time with not very much. And shopping completely online and doing it as cheaply as possible. So I'm using here Renshaw's icing. I got this from eBay from a company called the Vanilla Valley. And it was about £2 a packet. They are 250 grams, I believe, per packet. I've got the colours of white and I've got teddy bear brown, which was a bit dark for what I needed. So to make the brown that I wanted for Peter Rabbit, I decided to mix a bit of the teddy bear brown with the white, mixing it all together, using the warmth of the hands to mould it together, and then eventually it will all blend and make a slightly lighter brown. I'm now moulding it into the shape for Peter's body. My Peter looks a bit fat, so you might want to do it a bit taller than mine, but roll it around a bit, squish it up. There you go. Bit of white, roll this into a ball, roll it out. This is going to be for the fur on his tummy. You kind of want to make it a bit of an egg shape and then stick it on his tummy area, basically. Here we go. Just check it's the right height. And then we're going to add a bit of edible glue. You can just stick it on with the warmth of the fondant or your fingers, or you can use water. But most of the time I do tend to use glue. Be careful though, because if you get a bit on the edge, it does look a bit sticky and shiny, so make sure you just put it behind the icing that you want to stick on. I think the edible glue is a couple of pounds, again off eBay. So just stick that on. Then we're going to use this yellow curved tool thing, which my husband got off eBay, I think. It was one of my stocking fillers one year. So you're going to make some kind of leg shapes. Curve it round a bit on either side. That's it really. Just keep going over it and blend it in. Right, now we're pressing onto the tummy fur area to make it look a bit more realistic. Just making some marks in it really, using again the tool. Now we've got a bit of brown. This is going to be for the feet. Roll it up a bit and split it into two. Squish it out and mould it into a foot shape, a bit bigger, a bit wider at one end. Make a couple of marks in for the paws or toes or whatever, and do the same with the other one. Squish out the narrower end so that the body can sit onto it nicely, and put a bit of glue on it before you stick it onto the body. Chop off the end so that it's not too long. Again, make the little marks for the toes. Check the positioning of it. Quite wide really over the leg areas. Bit more glue, and just squish the body onto the feet. I'm sorry for my arm in this, it's completely in the way of the camera. Bad planning. Right, baby blue, open it up. Warm it up, roll it round. This is going to be for Peter's jacket. Oh, this is going quite quickly now. Okay, roll it out into a long thin sausage and cut it out. Bit more rolling. Okay, we're cutting. Cut it out into a long strip. Make sure that it fits around the body. Again, my Peter is quite fat, so my jacket piece is a bit longer. Chop the ends diagonally. Wrap it around Peter's body. There we go. Can't figure out which way round it goes. That way. And squish it on a bit. Again, you can use glue or water to attach it. You want to leave it a little bit open so that you can see his tummy. But just make sure the bits at the top touch each other. Then this little section is actually for the collar. So you want to cut out 2 little triangles and attach them to the collar area. There we go, stick them on too. Now if the jacket bit doesn't come up high enough around his neck and some of it's visible when you are going to add the head on, add a bit more blue icing around there. Okay, this is the head, bit more of your brown. Make it into a ball, squish out the nose area. So just keep going like I'm doing here, messing with it and pinching a bit out for his nose. Again, this is a different tool this time, the ball tool. Shove it in a bit into the eye sockets. Peter's going to look now like a completely weird, freaky alien, but just go with it. Then do some marks where his nose is going to be. So you just do a little V at the end of that point. Now you're supposed to use any sort of a stick, like a cocktail stick or something. I've just gone for the old straw because it was all I had in the cupboard. Cut it off, squish it in. Bit more glue, but you don't have to use this. And then you're just going to push Peter's head onto the stick into position. There we go. Oh, falling off. Right, now he looks really weird, like some sort of toad. Okay, this is going to be for his little mouth moustache area. Bit more glue. You're just going to get this white icing, roll it into 2 little balls and squish it out using your thumb. And then stick it on by his nose. There we go, and the other one. So that you can still see that little V that you made with the knife above. Now we're going to put some icing into the eye sockets. I didn't have black or brown, so I've used a mixture of dark blue and orange or something weird to make a really odd brown colour. Push that in, use the ball tool to squish it in a bit more. You can also see here I've got a black edible pen. So I've decided to just colour it in with the black pen to make black because I didn't have black icing. Use what you can here, it doesn't really matter. You could even use something that's not edible as long as you don't let the children eat it. Okay, now we're going to do the little white bits on the eyes to make it look a lot more realistic. So just get white icing, tiny, tiny balls. Make sure your hands are really, really clean when you do this because otherwise it will make the white a bit dirty looking, and use the tiniest, tiniest bit of white icing because otherwise you make the figure look really, really odd, like quite scary, like they're just staring at you. Now these little orange bits are for the buttons on the jacket. They're supposed to be yellow. I only had orange because I bought some for the carrots. So tiny, tiny balls of anything yellow, orangey, and stick it on. Again, I'm just using a bit of glue there. Make sure your hands don't get too hot because the fondant can start to stick to your fingers a bit. Oh, there we go. And sort of watch any dye or colour on your hands. Okay, here we've got more blue. This is me for his arms. Roll out a big sausage and cut it into 2. Measure the length around from the back of the neck to the front. Keep rolling. Just check the length of it. Do the same with both. And then you're essentially just going to mould it around Peter's body and stick it on. make sure the ends that are going to be his wrists are cut so that you can add his hands in. So what I mean is you don't want those hand ends to be pointed or cone-like, you just want them to be blunt. Oh, his arm's coming off. Bit more glue and stick them on. And then you want to get the yellow tool again, the little ball this time, to make a little indent in either end of the arms where his hands are going to go. So just, we'll get there in a minute, push the ball tool into the end and then squidge a little bit of brown fondant into the hole to make his hands. There we go, yet more glue. I'm loving the glue today, aren't I? Now, I forgot, oh, knife going everywhere. I'd forgotten to film the making of the ears, so I'm making another pair here. So roll out a bit of the same brown again and just cut out an ear shape, kind of a leaf shape, obviously two, the same. And then you're just going to smooth down the edges a bit and do 2 little marks on the inside, poking outwards like a V. There we go. And then you just want to kind of mould the sides and roll it inwards slightly and pinch the bottom to make them look more realistic. Then I'm going to chop off the bottom to make them really, really blunt and push down on the back of Peter's head a bit to give you a bit of a ledge to stick them onto. Here we are acting this out because it's already been done. And then a bit more glue and just shove them on. I did forget to do Peter's tail, one of the most essential parts of a rabbit. Bit of white, shove it on the back in a ball. There we go. And there we have it. That is my Peter Rabbit cake topper tutorial. I do have to do a shout out to Zoe of Zoe's Fancy Cakes, I think it is. Amazing tutorial. This is my version, my attempt at making it. Like I said, I'm not professional. I'm just a real mom. I had an hour or so to do this the night before the party. It was about 1 AM when it was filmed. And it's just to show you that you can make something pretty quickly. It doesn't have to be amazing. You can kind of use the same techniques to do any character. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. Leave me a comment if you have tried this or if you've made any other fondant cake toppers or anything. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.